Welcome back to Buffalo, ready for the second half kickoff. We talked about Buffalo. How about the Raiders? The most points in 32 playoff games. They've ever allowed 33. That was in Super Bowl II.
Well, they're playing a dynamite football team that's incensed at their best, inspired, and this is one of the best teams I've seen in recent years. It goes down with the Bears, the Giants, and the 49ers.
Well, we'll talk about the 49ers, what you think about their game with the Giants as this second half progresses. There'll be time for a lot of speculation as the Bills need a little more than to just keep the Raiders in a bit of a check to secure their Super Bowl spot.
Now, Dick, it's Raider pride. Now, they've spoken of their pride, their history, their heritage, and obviously the game's out of reach. Now, how do they play football for 30 minutes just because it's football? The stakes are gone now. It's over now. And so now it's up to the Raiders to play football related to the pride they have as an organization and as a team. And I'm sure Art Shell got that to them at halftime. And Smith is still in the ballgame.
Leading 41-3. Jay Schrader. Ethan Horton out of bounds after a gain of about 8. Nate Odom's on the coverage.
I'm sure Smith wants to be in the game. He's waited all year for a game like this. Oh, little trouble.
Scuffle across the way.
Little altercation. That'll happen, I'm sure. Frustrated Raiders are bound to have these kind of things happen. And this hope that the Bills don't flaunt it or taunt the Raiders as this game progresses. But Smith, I'm sure, wants to play. But at some point, someone's going to have the nerve to tell him, you're going to sit it out until next week. They have to have this guy next week. He's got to be 100% healthy.
Schrader run out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
They want to belabor Smith, but he's not moving well, Vic. He's not 100%. I mean, that time he was smoothly blocked by Steve Wright. He was pushed right past the play. The guy's not 100%, yet he's still in the ballgame.
Well, you remember way back in the early part of the season at Miami when Marv Levy, recognizing the defeats of the Dolphins, pulled Smith and some other starters out, and that created that argument with Smith and the coaches. And it was at that point that they had a real getting together of the team and coaches and decided, hey, we've got to start focusing. And they all credit that moment to the start of the success of this season. Schrader will run it again. To the Buffalo 49-yard line. Let's go back to Bruce Smith and what's going on.
Smith's going to be confronted by Steve Wright, the right tackle, coming up the field, and Steve just in good position. You see Smith just Steve's trying to take it out on him, but Bruce just isn't himself right this minute, and he's not going to get better.
That's the start of the second half. Buffalo with a record-setting point production in the first half for a first half of any playoff game in NFL history, 41-3. Marcus Allen, who had only 10 yards rushing the entire first half, while his counterpart with the Bills, Thurman Thomas, racked up 109. Seals and Smith in on that tackle.
It's really the test, the character of a football team, to be out of a game, totally out of a game, and still continuing to play with real intensity.
Kirby Jackson and Tim Brown.
Looks like Jackson's trying to explain himself more than confront Brown.
First down at the Bills 44. Blitz from Jackson, and he gets him. Kirby Jackson on a corner blitz.
Well, they'd brought him before, and he hadn't quite got there. This time, Schrader had a pass developing well down the field, so Schrader was going to take time to get there. You see 47 coming on the left of the screen. No one there to block him, naturally. And Schrader wasn't looking to that side, and so he just didn't see him coming.
Well, and occupying two blockers to stop Bruce Smith, that really gives Jackson an open avenue, doesn't it? Screen to Allen up the middle. He has some moves. Allen finally ducks out of bounds at the 35-yard line, close to a first down. Nate Odom's closest Bill.
At this point, the Raiders are playing good, solid football and attempting to execute and move the ball. Obviously, the game's out of reach. but they're playing football, and that's the character of the ball club.
Rader almost casual in setting up on 3rd and 2. And Allen gets the first down straight ahead to the 32-yard line, where Conlon and Seals wrap him up. Are you shocked? You heard Will McDonough say at halftime that he called this the greatest offensive performance in the first half that he can ever remember. Would you put it in that category?
Well, you have to say that because everything has worked. Their running game, their passing game, their spontaneous plays, everything has worked.
Raiders got their only points of field goal on their first possession. Schrader on top, has a man. Fernandez intercepted. Mark Kelso ducks in front, and Kelso from William and Mary picks it off.
Kelso coming back from a broken leg.
Suffered against the Raiders in their game 5 of the season. He's a ball hawk. Took it right away from Fernandez. Oh, the mighty Bills continue.
Well, after all, it's still a car. It's not like it had 6 wheels or nuclear power or something. But what it is the first car made in this country for about as long as anyone can remember. That's been started from the beginning, from scratch. The whole idea of the Saturn was to start the whole process over, to start all over again, with everything we'd learned, with everything anyone had ever learned about building a car. There's nothing left from the past. The engine, the transmission, virtually every nut, bolt, and screw. The way it's made, the way people care about how it's made. It's all new. It's the only really new American car from a new company for 40 or 50 years. We're proud of this car. It shows what you can do when you're willing to start all over again.
Diet Coke presents Crack the Code for Real Refreshment.
January, we got a call from distraught store owners.
They just came in and bought out all of our Diet Coke.
Relax, sir. They're just trying to crack the code for real refreshment.
Crack the code?
Game, ma'am. You get these game pieces with specially marked packages of Diet Coke. Then crack the code during the Super Bowl. There's a million prizes, even...
Million?
How'd you get?
Crack the Code for Real Refreshment. Diet Coke. With 100% NutraSweet.
NBC Sports coverage of the AFC Championship is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By Diet Coke, real refreshment just for the taste of it. By Shearson Lehman Brothers, the firm for the serious investor. Talk with us. And by Magnavox, smart choices for smart people. Magnavox, smart, very smart.
Man with the interception, academic All-America, William and Mary, Mark Kelso, quality person who, when he broke his leg against the Raiders, had some children here as his guests, and while had the presence while they're carting them off, make sure someone took care of the kids. And the ground game now, Buffalo will certainly be their inspiration as they start at the 5-yard line, and Thurman Thomas, he too, like Smith, how far do you go with Thomas with a big lead when you've got Don Smith and Kenneth Davis to run the ball?
Well, it's so early in the second half, but at some point soon they should play other people just by that remote chance there'll be an injury that would cost them the opportunity to win the Super Bowl.
Kelly stays with the no huddle, and with 21 seconds on the play clock, he runs another ground play to Thomas. Bob Bullock trips him up to shy the 15.
I would think,
3rd and 2.
You know, Dick, I think that Marv Levy or one of his staff would signal in to huddle up, use the clock, wind that clock down. The game's over with. Wind it down. That can avert injury, and it's, in a sense, it's sort of a sportsmanlike thing to do. It's hard to believe I say that about a Raider defense, but that's the case.
On 3rd down, Thomas at the 15. That'll be very close. Townsend wraps him up. But the running plays were still 15 to 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Well, they're thirsting for a big win, and Now, here are the kind of things that can start. John Davis is limping right now, and Glenn Parker looks like Glenn wants to get in there and replace him.
Time out for the measurement.
But the coaches' minds on the Buffalo staff now have to be thinking Giants or San Francisco in the kind of plays they call.
But isn't there that natural, I mean, you guys all have it, that natural ultra-conservatism. You don't want to admit, even though you've got what seems to be an impossible lead, you don't want to admit that the game is over yet. You're going to wait to the fourth quarter. You never know. A couple of fumbles, they make a big play.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It's down 19-0 in the ninth inning. A couple of errors, 4 or 5 walks, 8 or 9 home runs. We're right back in this thing. Well, here's Rootin' Tootin' Rick Tootin' to punt for the first time. He kicked only once last week against Miami. Plays John Kidd, who went Plan B to San Diego. Tootin from Florida State, delivering from his 5. And gets a short one away to Tim Brown. And Brown returns to the 42 of Buffalo. 10 minutes left in the third. Buffalo 41-3.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the only razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Only Gillette Sensor. Twin blades mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
The closest, safest, smoothest, most comfortable Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of foamy shave cream for the best shave a man can get.
Father to son, it's what we've always done.
The extraordinary Gillette Sensor.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Changing Interest Rates by Shearson Lehman Brothers. The government recently announced what we all knew. We are in a recession. Interest rates have steadily dropped. We believe they will continue to fall over the next 12 months. If you have a CD maturing in the next 90 days, what should you do? Talk with us. Shearson Lehman Brothers.
America's at war, and NBC presents an important hour-long special, What's Ahead?
Then, Women at War, concern on the home front. How do Americans feel about women in harm's way on Real Life with Jane Pauley?
And could Iraq have bought arms from the U.S.? A shocking expose with Tom Brokaw. Stay tuned to NBC tonight.
Welcome back to Rich Stadium in Buffalo, where these great fans, you see the
defensive line going over the adjustments that they're still trying to make. But one thing I noticed as he was talking was that he was talking about playing good, solid football. You're doing okay.
After the punt, Schrader takes over at the Buffalo 43, intercepted 3 times today. He gets the comeback pattern to Mervyn Fernandez to the Buffalo 30 in a first down. So Schrader, and we give too much credit and too much blame on that position, but they all understand that comes with the territory. But Schrader had only 3 interceptions the last 6 games of the year, including last week, 3 today against Buffalo.
Well, that time they had what they're trying to do now is get outside the pass rush. And they did, although the blitz came from Leonard Smith, number 46 again, but the Raiders are now trying to get outside that pass rush, then find somebody.
From the looks of Schrader's jersey, Smith's had a hand on him. Marcus Allen inside the 25-yard line. Talley and Wright made the tackle. That Jeff Wright doesn't get a lot of calls, but with all the attention given Bruce Smith, that Wright's in your face most of the day. There's the marks from, it appears to be from Smith.
We were talking about Kelso a few minutes ago. Marv Levy thinks he's the ultimate in free safeties. Every skill, every technique, the knowledge he has is extremely high on Kelso.
Underneath, incomplete to Fernandez, who knew James Williams was coming. Williams the #1 pick of the Bills this year from Fresno State. Now, Kelso, he plays a deep center field, though, doesn't he?
I like Kelso, but I just don't put him in the same category as Ronnie Lott. I just don't do that. I think Kelso's a fine field general to clean up, but the great free safety is a Ronnie Lott who can do everything.
Kelso had what appears to be oversized helmet after it's an extra pattern. 3rd down 6.
Blitz.
And they get it to Allen. Fights to the 21, but that'll leave him shy of the 1st down by considerable. Kelso made that tackle. Mark Kelso.
Well, the Raiders on 4th down without a huddle. Now that's interesting. Normally you'd huddle the team if you got a 4th down play.
Into the end zone to Willie Gold, and flags go down as Gold and Nate Odoms were pairing down that far sidelines.
Well, it's mighty easy to criticize a team that's down 41-3, but that was 4th down. You'd think you'd huddle up and come up with the best possible play. I guess they got a little fortunate there. Defensive holding
against Odoms, which will give the 5-yard penalty and a 1st down.
Holding. Defense. Number 37. 5 yards. 1st down.
Odoms down the field with Galt. Gee, I don't know. That looked pretty clean to me.
1st down at the 16. James Williams, the rookie, calls time, and Mervin Fernandez, you could see his reaction. He thought he had a clean shot at a touchdown. Timeout.
Diet Coke presents Crack the Code for Real Refreshment.
January, we got a call from distraught store owners.
They just came in and bought out all of our Diet Coke.
Relax, sir. They're just trying to crack the code for real refreshment.
Crack the code?
Game, ma'am. You get these game pieces with specially marked packages of Diet Coke. Then crack the code during the Super Bowl. There's a million prizes, even...
Million?
How'd you guess?
Crack the code for real refreshment. Diet Coke. With 100% NutraSweet.
You put a lot of yourself into something like this. A lot of, you can really get emotionally involved with a project like this. It all started with the challenge for the old values. Maintain the old values. Yeah, so we jumped all over that. You couldn't have taken over an old plant and done that. You had to come someplace where it's, where you can start over, in effect. So then we started looking for a place you could move people to that had a good quality of living, and we stumbled on Spring Hill. When you fill a place up with high technology, then you have to train the people that can take care of it. You can't build cars without people. So if you could take all that enthusiasm and translate that into the car, it's a real marriage. But if you never forget the people part of it, then you're going to be all right. That's how we got Spring Hill.
My name is Morris Dees, the Southern lawyer who brought the Ku Klux Klan to its knees.
You watch yourself, boy.
Now I'm their #1 target.
Get down!
Daddy, these people are trying to kill you.
When you believe in something, you have to be willing to take a stand.
I won't let them do this to me. Based on a true story, L.A. Law's Corbin Burnson in Line of Fire on NBC Monday.
Welcome back to Buffalo. They work on Cornelius Bennett on the Bills sidelines. He just winced in some pain as they work on it. Looks like the index finger. 41-3. This is the closest the Raiders have been to the Bills' goal line. At the 16, 1st down. It's the goal. Intercepted and dropped by Williams, who made a beautiful cut. He and Odoms with a shot at it. No, it was Odoms who had an opportunity to come up with his 2nd interception today.
Well, they're going to double Galt. You see the safety coming right up over the top to the right of the screen.
Oh, was that read well?
So that was Leonard Smith was there. So 2 people on Galt.
Schrader, who hears his name being called from the fans, gets it to Tim Brown inside the 10. The fans ragging Jay Schrader a bit here, who's had a 3-interception day and a 3-point day, while his counterpart Kelly is feasted.
Look at Smith right here. 2 people just knocking him all over the field because he's tired and apparently has a knee problem.
Schrader is 13 for 27 day, 150 yards. Third down, 2.5. Marcus Allen. And he appears to have the first down at the 5. Well, does anyone make more interesting definitive moves right at the handoff? I mean, he gives himself an option to go so many different places with that first step of his.
Well, he's got the quickest feet, and for a guy his size, you wouldn't expect that.
That he was pinned in, and then he made the quick move straight ahead for a yard gain. Seals and Talley with the tackle.
That's the one great asset that O.J. Simpson has had throughout his career, was he could see so much. And Marcus has the same trait. He can see so much happening in front of him and almost read those blocks before they occur.
Yeah,
rarely with either one of those guys were they ever wrong in where they decided to run.
Same number. Allen was likened to Bruce Smith. Somebody blow a whistle before Smith takes the handoff. He's done about everything else this year.
And 78 defense after this is in the goal line.
Bruce Smith gets the call, half the distance down to the 2-yard line. Jim Kelly staying warm, so apparently he will come back and quarterback as we move to the 6-minute mark in the third quarter. 6 to go, and it's a 41-3 Buffalo advantage. Schrader collide, and Schrader actually made the tackle on his running back as he stumbled forward to the line of scrimmage.
Looks as though Schrader wanted to get Marcus the ball as deep as he could in the backfield to allow Marcus to cut back, and you can see the collision.
Actually, with his right leg, he tripped up Allen. See the right leg right there. Announcement by Jim Tunney that number 66 Steve Wright is an eligible receiver as he lines up on the left side. Third and goal. Wide open is the man in blue, Leonard Smith. Oh my. Schrader under pressure, threw the ball, and the only man close to it was the Buffalo Bill, Leonard Smith. Thank you very much.
I thought we're going to the movies. Hey, I'm ready. You can't go to the theater dressed like that.
You can if you own it.
Oh, it's the Magnavox projection TV.
My very own movie theater.
The Magnavox enhanced video system really makes it sharp and clear.
Just like the movies.
And with the JBL system, you can almost feel the Dolby surround sound. Just like the movies. This could be one of the smartest ideas you've ever had.
Yeah. I thought the other one was pretty good, too.
Magnavox. Smart choice. Very smart.
No one can guarantee you a perfect world. A world where the unexpected never intrudes. But some of us know we'll be taken care of, quickly and compassionately. In an imperfect world, you're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
I'm a second-half quarterback.
Now that was a stellar performance.
Super Buckets.
Here, have some chicken. You look weak.
His
arm is weak.
It's called aging. From Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Trivia, guys. Who has the record for most fumbles?
You mean before today?
15 pieces of chicken or a supersized bucket of hot wings, just $9.99 each.
Wait till the second half.
All right, rally.
Anytime you're ready, gentlemen.
Super Buckets from KFC.
Great it is.
Come on, Dad.
It's a primetime skating spectacular.
Featuring the return to international competition of dance sensations Torval and Dean.
Plus America's Olympic hero Brian Boitano.
And 1980 gold medalist Robin Cousins.
A special night of champions at the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
A new date and a special time, Friday on NBC.
Leonard Smith with the interception. Boy, the Bills are sky high. He joins Kelso and Talley, who returned 127 yards for a touchdown. And Nate Odom's 4 interceptions against Schrader. Many of them of the easy variety. Just that one right and left. Kelly's still in there, throwing some more. And he gets it to Keith McKellar, tight end, who is a project by the Bills, who really has blossomed. He was a Jacksonville State of Alabama basketball player, played only 1 year of college football. They've been patient with him, and now in his 3rd season, Jim Kelly says, he's just another one of my real threats. He says, I used to have Thomas, then I had Reed and Thomas, then I had Reed, Thomas, and Lofton. Now I got Reed, Thomas, Lofton, and McKellar. And as the Raiders have found out, and the Miami Dolphins did, whom do you not defend?
He's a super athlete, a real athlete, and still learning. He'll be better next year, and the next year, and the next year.
Thomas. And he gets out to about the 39-yard line.
Well, we see the Bills huddling up now, taking more time off the clock.
Oh, what a terrible way to end the season. Schrader, who had a great start, then he had that November slump where he didn't throw a touchdown. Then he rallied his team, had 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions the last 5 games of the regular season, and then you finish your year and have a disastrous day like this.
Well, I'm sure in the fact he just wants to get out on the field again and erase whatever he can of this performance. Hit one or 2 passes, something.
See, it's very pleasant today. Schrader's perspiring. Temperature still around 32. Danny Mueller, who played his college ball at Atchison, Kansas at Benedictine College, was a 3rd-round pick back in '87.
When they play a 2-back offense, Mueller is an excellent combination with Thomas because Mueller serves the same purpose that Steve Smith of the Raiders does. Excellent blocker, a good receiver if the occasion arises, but a good, solid blocker. On the other hand, the Bills are doing fine with a 3-receiver offense, and that's what I think you'll see next week.
Using the huddle and using the clock. 3rd down 3. McKellar again. He can motor, and he's down to the 36-yard line of Los Angeles. Jerry Robinson tagged him.
Jerry Robinson trying to cover him and at the same time play against the run. And no question, Jerry's lost a step. And McKellar, a younger, quicker man, just outruns him crossing the field.
Well, these Bills, as you know, in the regular season late, were impressive in a 17-13 win against the Giants at the Meadowlands. That was the game in which Kelly was hurt and Phil Simms of the Giants. So they've shown that they can beat the Giants in the Giants' home field. One would wonder, should the 49ers win later, how the Bills would match up. And my partner Bill